First, see that the penis consists of 2 corpus cavernosum and 1 corpus spongiosum. The end of the corpus spongiosum is grown, and it is called the glans penis. Blood filling the corpus cavernosum and corpus spongiosum is called an erection. In men's genital organs, the passageway for sperm is very important. Sperm created in the testes is stored in the epididymis and goes out through the ductus deferens during ejaculation. The ductus deferens does not go into the penis, which is located right next to it, but takes the far way. I do not understand why they do this instead of taking a shortcut. When seen on the right side, you can easily see the relationship between the testes, epididymis, and ductus deferens. Sperm goes up in the testes, goes down in the epididymis, and goes up again in the ductus deferens. The surgery of the ductus deferens involves cutting the ductus deferens next to the testes and binding them. Of course, both ductus deferens should be cut and bound. Can sperm using their tails to swim be the means by which they are able to pass the ductus deferens during ejaculation? The answer is no. The reason why sperm is able to pass the ductus deferens is due to how the ductus deferens conducts peristalsis. The sperm swim after they have been ejaculated. They swim in the female's uterine tube and meets the ovum. When ejaculating, not only sperm, but also the secretions of the seminal vesicle and prostate are released. In other words, semen is the sum of sperm, seminal vesicle secretions, and prostate secretions. See that the ductus deferens meets the seminal vesicle and goes into the urethra of the prostate. We can say that this is the place where the sperm from the ductus deferens, secretions of the seminal vesicle, and secretions of the prostate meet. You can see that the urethra passes the corpus spongiosum, which includes the glans penis. The urethra is the passageway for urine, so it falls under the urinary system. But it also falls under the reproductive system, since it is also a passageway for semen. Thus, unlike for females, the male urinary system and reproductive system are mixed. The 3D models from now on is from the sectioned image of a female cadaver. Look at the way in which the ovum passes through the female reproductive system. When ovum made from the ovary ovulates, it goes into the uterine tube. Menstruation is the process of the ovum going out of the body through the uterus and vagina. However, it becomes another story when the ovum and sperm meet in the uterine tube and fertilize. The uterus is located posterior to the urinary bladder and anterior of the rectum. The urinary bladder of this cadaver is very big due to being filled with urine. The boundary of the rectum and anal canal being bent forward is normal. The vagina is a passageway for sexual intercourse. Menstruation matters from the uterus and babies during childbirth. When an ovum and sperm meet and fertilize in the uterine tube, they go into the uterus and are implanted. The uterus can be divided into the fundus, body, and cervix. The uterus is usually bent forward, but this cadaver's uterus is exceptionally not. The vagina is squashed back and forth, so if you look at it from the side, it looks very thin. The uterus is the size of a fist, and when pregnant, it becomes bigger. The cervix sticks out into the vagina.